Yes, I.
Yes, sir.
Bless up, bless up.
You are live on the Reggae Sound Splash Show with yours truly, DJ Marley here live on DjmarleycureGh.
Big up to the Reggae Sound Splash Massive. Yeah, thank you for having me. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure, you know, to be able to connect through this way to my people in Ghana. You know what I mean? Big up, big up, big up.
Okay, so can you please introduce my listeners who are listening to the show, man?
All right. My name is Jubba White. I'm a drummer, producer, recording artist, you know, singer. I sing some songs, you know, I'm a producer of music, and the drums is my, you know, my main instrument.
Okay. I've listened to some of the songs on the digital platform, and you have a new song called "If I Had," a nice song.
Yeah. If I Had the World.
If I Had the World. What's the motivation behind the song, man?
You know, that song is a cover song from one of my favorite artists, icon, Dennis Emmanuel Brown.
Yes,
you know, he's no longer with us, but he's considered the crown prince of reggae and one of Jamaica's favorite singers as well. You know, so you know, I have two siblings, and I grew up seeing records around the house of this artist.
Okay.
You know, so I used to hear his music all the time, you know, because my two older brothers, you know, both of them, he was their favorite artist, and so naturally, you know, as a younger sibling growing up, you know, in the home and seeing all these records and hearing, you know, the songs, you know, the music grew on me, you know, not to say, you know, his music was the only music that was in and around the home, but, you know, it was very clear that he was, you know, their favorite, one of their favorite artists at the time.
Okay.
And this song is my favorite song from him. So, you know, it was kind of a no-brainer to try and do this at some point, you know.
Okay, so as a drummer, how do you compare the drumming and the singing together?
How do I pull both of them together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what?
Give me a moment just to remind you.
You know, the drums being my first and main instrument. Of course, you know, you're open to every aspect and facet of music. I'll tell you this: most musicians sing, right? It may not be that most singers play an instrument, but most musicians sing, right? And so, I think it's just a natural thing that comes, and also, you know, when I was a youngster, you know, since I was a toddler coming up, my mom, you know, when she was around the house, you know, doing, you know, her taking care of her responsibilities on behalf of the family and taking care of me, you know, she always was just singing a joyful sound, you know, every single day, you know, and on top of her voice. So it was kind of natural that I picked up that kind of vibe and energy. And while she was doing all of that, I used to just take out the pots and pans and knife and forks, and I would be just banging on them, you know, some little paint pans, anything I could find, you know, to hit. You know, I would just drum on them, and I would be singing while she's singing. So it came out of that as well.
Okay. So are you part of a reggae band? Are you part of a reggae band? And what's the name of the band?
Currently, I'm a solo artist. Solo artist under the name Jubba White. But previous to this, my band, Dub Tonic Crew, right? We have been a 5-member band. We were on the road for about a little over 15 years, right? So Dub Tonic Crew, we won a band competition in Jamaica. It's called the Global Battle of the Bands, right?
Okay.
After touring, for some years, we entered this band competition, which is a franchise. We won the leg in Jamaica, and from there we were to represent both ourselves and our country on the World Finals. And the World Finals was kept in Malaysia. This was in 2011. We were among 17 countries that were vying for the top prize. And I say the top prize more so being the title, the best new band in the world. We were among, as I said, 17 bands representing their respective countries.
Yes, sir.
And those countries, were, Britain, Brazil, Russia, we had Malaysia themselves, we had China, several countries, 17 countries, from the different, parts of the world. And a lot of the bands were doing rock or heavy metal, or some form of popular music. We went and we represented, our own music, reggae and dub. And at the end of the night, we were voted unanimously by all 3 judges to be, the winners of that competition. So Dub Tonic Crew is the name of that band. Myself and my friend, the bass player Stone, previous to starting that band, we toured together with a lot of other artists.
Okay.
A lot of the legends, like U-Roy, Max Romeo, the Mighty Diamonds, younger artists too, such as, Richie Spice, Chuck Fender, Bushman, Junior Kelly, and played a lot of, on a lot of recordings.
Okay.
Songs that have become Billboard #1 songs, so we were in the studio and we were also touring, but after a while we decided, we wanted to, create our own vibe, record our own music and a different style and take it to the world. And that was the inception of Dub Tonic Crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Reggae South Splash Show on the line of Jubba White, straight from. You're in the US now.
I'm currently in the US, yeah,
Okay, so
the West Coast.
What in Jamaica do you come from?
I'm from Clarendon, which is like the South Central parish. It's from central down to the south. It's a really big parish.
Okay.
And a lot of other reggae legends are from there. People like Toots, people like Freddie McGregor, people like Coco T. Yeah, man.
Okay, so are you from a musical family?
Well, you know what? Music is in all of us as human beings, right? We're all walking musicians. But to say that I'm from a musical family, I'd have to say no, because I have an uncle that was a drummer, but my mother, she used to sing on the choir, right? And music was included in everything that she did. Not because she was a professional musician, but just because, music was just inside of her.
Okay.
So, she is the individual that I'd say inspired me most, from a very early age.
Okay. Okay. So your new song is out on all the digital platform now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it is. It is on all the major digital platforms. It was released end of 2023, but February, we're in February now, and it's Reggae Month. And Reggae Month is celebrated in Jamaica the entire month of February. But it's also celebrated in other parts of the world. And it so happens that the 1st of February, would have been the birth date of Dennis Brown himself.
Yeah,
So,
the crown prince of reggae music.
yeah, man, the crown prince of reggae music. And so, that song was vibrant on that day, and I intend, to keep it going through the month of February and onward, because it's one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite artists. Yeah.
Okay, so can you give out your social media and someone to follow your social media platform?
All right, my social media platform. Once you type in Jubba White, that's JUBBA WHITE, you'll be able to find me across all platforms.
Okay.
So at Jubba White, Instagram, TikTok, right, Facebook, Jubba White, or Jubba DjmarleyCureGh White, my profile plus my music page. You can find me on YouTube, same thing, Jubba White. Which other platforms? My website, it's jubbawhite.com. So once again, it's JUBBAWHITE.com. And if you find my website, you'll be able to connect all the social media platforms.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them.
Okay. So what motivates you as a drummer and a singer? What is your motivation behind you? What's the motivation behind you as a singer and a drummer?
Life. There's the motivation for me is life. There's so much about life. There's so much within life, that inspires me every single day. And some of those things may be personal experience, which we consider first-hand experience, and some might be second-hand experience. You know what I mean? The joys, and guess what? In life, we experience many different emotions. We experience many different things. And all these various things shape us into who we are.
Yes, sir.
For me, as a musician, right, whether it is going to be about the composition of a piece of music, with my drums or whichever instrument, right?
Yes,
It's the feeling of the moment or those experiences and stuff that happens around me that goes into the creation process. If it's a song, if it's a piece of lyrics that I'm writing, it's the same. It is influenced by what is happening, around me, to me, or what I am seeing, as well as we're all creators, right? And to be able to create, it means that we think, that is how we invent, right? So some things that are invented, a lot of things that are invented were thought of in the mind before they came to, practicality, before we see them as tangible things, so we do the same thing as musicians, we think about things and we create, right? So it's everything that has to do with life. And this is one thing I always say. Everything that we have created as human beings is based on our very own existence, and is also based on our surroundings. For example, one of my very important analogy would be, for example, a car. We build cars, but when you look at a car, you see two headlights, you see four wheels, you see a tailpipe, right? We have all these electronic cables, right? We have a battery. So all of these things are the mechanisms of a human being that we put into the things that we create. So yeah, my creation in music comes from my experience in life and everything around me.
Okay. So thank you very much for coming straight on the Reggae Sound Splash show. And can you pick up some people before you go?
You know what? Thank you very much. See, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me. Right? Big up to the Ghana Massive and everybody that is listening right now to the Sound Splash show on Goodies Radio. Right? And everybody in the world, we are all one family. See? And I want to big up everybody that is hearing me right now. And what I want to say to you is one love. And together we are stronger as a planet. See? So enough respect. Enough respect. And thanks again for having me.
Okay. So thank you very much for passing through the show.
Yeah, man. My pleasure, man. Until next time. If I had the world, I'd give it to you, yeah. Big up, Goodies Radio, Sound Splash Show.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, man, respect.